we're on. My name is Aaron Fehler. I do marketing and business development. I help companies get more clients, pretty much. And I assume that's why everybody's here today. And just as a quick start, I don't know if you guys know me, I'm not sure I'm familiar with anybody. I'd like just to get a very short synopsis of who's in the room and what you guys do. So if we could go one by one, just say what your business is and if it's a new business or if it's been around a couple of years. You guys okay with that? Do you want to start? Okay. You can say your name as well, or not, or just say what you do. Okay. Okay, it's a new business or it's launched in the last year? Okay. Thanks.
I don't really have a business, but I didn't really involved in. I recently got involved in Fit Bot
Yeah.
to try to boost productivity and attendance.
Okay, great. You have a new business you're starting.
Yeah, I'm going to be starting an equipment industry.
Okay, very exciting.
So I told the best, I have a coaching and healing practice, and I help currently my niche is baby boomer women to
Okay.
fund your inner talent.
Okay, nice.
So I'm Aisha, lactation consultant and birth educator. Go to client terms, makes life easier for them.
Okay, very nice.
Hi, I'm Victoria Brodsky. I'm in the social work services. I got an LLC, but I haven't done anything with it. I'm in the middle of like making a manual.
Okay. Okay, nice. Thanks, bro.
Okay. My name is Nicole, and I'm starting a vegan ice cream.
Wow,
And
very
I'm
exciting.
selling ice cream out of my house for a little bit.
Okay, wow. Very, very exciting.
My name's Connie. I just recently opened a play area for kids.
Okay, great.
My name is Isa. I make dairy chocolate. I have a company about a year,
Okay.
and just want to put it, I'm here to put it out there,
Okay, great.
Nina Baumgarten. I have a small graphic design business for print and web.
Okay.
Mushki Bucks, and I'm starting also a home organizing service.
Okay, great.
Mishki Baumgarten, and I own Salon Envy. It's Shade's own salon
Okay,
business.
excellent. Go back.
Sure.
Men's section.
Yeah. Casey Freeman. I do video, like for companies to help them promote themselves as well. So it's under a year since I started.
Okay.
So video content.
Yehuda Freeman, music business?
Okay, what do you do in the music business?
I don't know yet. The new
All right.
startup.
Hopefully you'll figure it out. Okay. Welcome everybody. Thank you for taking the moment to introduce yourselves and tell me what you do. We're here today to talk about marketing strategy. Every business wants to grow, and every business needs two things. You need, besides you have your product and you know what you're doing, you need to have sales and you need marketing. So sales is going out there and getting people, showing them your product, showing them your business, telling them about it, handing out business cards. Marketing is really a deeper level, where you want people to start coming after you. You want people to call you up. And marketing can start from before and after. So when you create a website, when you create a brochure, a business card, anything you do is communicating with the client or communicating with the customer or whoever you're trying to attract, the organization or the business. So the most important thing in the beginning of a business is to be very, very clear what you do and who it's for. And we can get into that in a little bit more detail. But let me just start. I figure a lot of people here, it seems from your response, that most people are entrepreneurs. You guys started your own businesses. So let me go through that a little bit and talk about marketing, and especially about planning. A lot of small businesses start out bit by bit. You start little pieces here and there. But if you really want to take it to the next level, you need to really sit back, plan, go through a couple of steps. And I'm going to show you how to do that today. I have a pretty simple system which I use for small businesses, which will give you a good overview of the business and help you take it to the next level. And we'll also go through one of my clients, a case study. I have permission from them. We can go through and see how we do it with the client. And then hopefully we'll have a little time to do it in your individual businesses as well. So first question is, why plan? Loads of businesses like, hey, I know what I do, I have business cards, I'm out there on social media, why do I need to plan what I'm doing? So the answer is that a business plan helps you focus your energy. Everybody's limited. Okay, you only have so much time and energy to put into your business. You only have so much money to put into your business. Where should you put it? If you're really putting time into your business and it's successful, you will generally have to cut your time between running your business, which if you're in the service business, you're having less time available because it's only your time. If you have a product, okay, at least you have the product that's out there, it's selling even when you're sleeping, or there's other people shipping it, or it's in the mail. But if you're using a service business, it's your time. You only have so many hours in the day, there's only so much time you can put into the business, let alone trying to grow it and build it and take it to the next level. So it's really important to have a plan because there's so many things you want in the business. This picture is really good. You want stability in the business, you want growth, you want to make good profits, you want to increase your market share, you want to innovate and grow, but you're only limited in your time. So having a good plan will help you do all of these at the same time, because if you're very, very limited, if you don't have a plan, you're jumping from here to here, especially in a small business, you try and grow, and the end is you could be spending most of your time and energy in the wrong things. Let's just talk about a startup versus a business, because a lot of startups, they don't see themselves as businesses. And if you see yourself as a business and you want to try and grow, you want to try and get to the next level, that's the easiest way really to grow. So how does an entrepreneur start? Starts very simple. The idea, you have a great idea. I'm sure all you guys will be familiar with this. Then you have a good feeling about it. You have a really good feeling this is going to be successful, I like it, I love the idea. Then you talk to a friend. Then maybe the friend didn't like the idea, so you found a better friend. I'm sure you guys have had that. Then you get your friends and family to help with the idea. You get people that are close to you, which is great. Then you might hire friends of yours to do graphics, and some of them will do writing, whichever skills they have. So you're getting all the little bits and pieces here and there. Eventually you're going to launch. Launching always takes much longer than you expect. You make a lot of changes in a business. Any successful business, very few businesses start out where they want to go and end up being successful in the same place. Very often they make some key changes along the way. In the business world, it's called a pivot. And many huge companies like Uber and other companies like that, they started out, the guy who started Uber had a completely different idea. But only once he started his idea and launched it and saw the problems, he changed it from this and changed that, and eventually he came up with that company. So anyone along the launch stages, especially you guys that haven't launched, you want to look out for this, and you want to say, okay, I'm going to go with my idea 100% until it comes to a point where you see, hey, this idea is not working. And you say, okay, how do I take this idea and change it so that it does work? But you have to be prepared to not be too emotionally attached to the idea itself, but to see how can I take this idea and make it successful. So that's when you get a lot of changes, and eventually every business has a lucky break. You have one big company or one big client or something that really takes you off and gives you the first boost, the first client, whatever it takes that helps you launch, and then you guys are in business. So that's how most entrepreneurs and most businesses start like this, and that's great. But at this point, or even during this point, if you sit back and have more of a plan, a business plan, a marketing plan, you will be a lot more successful. When you come to a business, you need to be a little more organized. And as I mentioned before, it's a 4-step simple process, which I want to go through with you guys, which is going to help us figure out how a business works. So if we look in, you guys will have one of these handouts. The 4 steps are very simple. I want to go through them, and you may have them very, very clear. So you're taking your business, you're taking a step back, and you're running, instead of running the business every single day, you're taking a step back and you're going to say, how am I going to be more successful in my business? First thing you want to do is discovery. You want to gather information. We're going to go through more details on this. You want to gather information on the business itself. Second thing you want to do is you want to analyze the information, which is researching and getting more information based on how your business works. Then you're going to plan based on the information you have. Now you see, okay, what are the things that I need to do to grow my business? Which is selecting a course of action. The last part is implementing. Now that we know we have to do something in our business, we actually have to make it happen. So these 4 steps, they sound very simple, and they are simple. It's not rocket science, but it's important to go through all these steps and make it happen. A lot of people are running businesses based on gut feeling, and you have a gut instinct, it could be very good. But if you go and develop a very, very expensive website, which will take, you start out and you decide, hey,
Go ahead.
okay. So a lot of businesses start out with a gut feeling. I give you an example of doing a website. Starting your business, you see some clients, and you say, hey, let me build a website. You go to a friend, you talk to them, they say it costs you $1,000, and you start the website. Usually what happens is you'll figure it takes a month, you figure it takes $1,000, it ends up, by the time you finish the website, very often it costs $5,000 and takes 6 months, and then you realize that when at the end of the website it actually wasn't what you needed, or the way you designed it, the way you set it up wasn't what you needed, you actually have to start again. If you talk to anyone in business, they've done a project like this, they know exactly what I'm talking about. You've done business cards, or you've done events, you've done brochures, whatever you tried to do. Maybe you have experience in a small way of doing it. So big businesses make the same mistake. They can spend $50,000 on a website, and again, if they didn't plan, they didn't really make sure that this is what their problems are, figure out how the website or whatever the solution is going to solve the problem, then they wasted their time and money. Again, yes, by the end of this building the website, now you know what kind of website you need, which is great. But wouldn't it be better if you did that at the beginning, and you could be 6 months ahead and save yourself a couple $1,000s by knowing what you have to do? These are the 4 steps that will help you figure out what your business needs, figure out what solutions you need to solve those problems that you have, and then how to make them happen in the most cost-effective way. So I want to take an example of a client, of a company, and I want to try and go through these steps with the company to see what we can come up with. But before we do that, I want to try it the other way. We're just coming up with ideas. So the company that I want to talk about, they're actually sponsoring tonight's event. So I figured it's a good excuse to put them on the table. They're a Crown's company, they're a retail store, you're probably familiar with them. They've been around for a while, and a couple of years ago they got a new management, and they're actually looking to completely change and upgrade the company. And the name of the company is Sterling Electronics. Okay? Everyone familiar with them? Everyone shop there? Once in a while? Okay, most people have probably been there. So let's take a company like Sterling Electronics, and without going through a system or asking ourselves any questions, I want you guys to write down, this is actually in the first paper here, just write down some ideas. You were running Sterling Electronics, so from your experience going there, what would you do, what changes would you make to make the store better, or more profitable, or bring in more clients? It doesn't have to be earth-shattering, it doesn't have to be that, do they have a website, they don't have a website, whatever you know, whatever you would think. Imagine you were running the business, imagine you were saying, how do I improve this company? Just want to take a minute, write down any three ideas that come to mind. Doesn't really matter what they are, but it's important to see how there are a lot of ideas that you could do, but I want to show you, once we go through the system, we'll come up with very specific ideas, and we'll be a lot more confident that they're going to work and be successful. Just give you another minute. Okay, so you guys have got some ideas, you can keep writing. If you have more ideas, it's great. And afterwards, if we have time, we'll go through some of the ideas and you'll see which ones are valid, and hopefully you guys came up with some of the good ones. But you'll see going through the system what kind of ideas come up if you go through this process. So the first step we spoke about is discovery. Discovery is gathering information. So what you want to do is you need to understand your business very, very well. You need to understand your numbers, you need to understand where you're making money, where you're not making money. The easiest way to look at a business is to go through, I'm going to go to the next page here, page 3 on the handouts, is the 5 P's analysis. Now the 5 P's are a way of looking at a business. You may find it doesn't apply to your business because it's more, this is very generic and it applies to every kind of business, so it's very good for medium and large sized businesses, somebody that already has 3 to 5 to 50 employees. But even looking at your business, this is a way of being able to analyze all the parts of it. For example, you have a product, you may have a number of products. So the first thing you want to do in discovery is put down what are the lists of all the products that you have. Okay? P is the place. Where are all the places that somebody can buy your product? Can you buy it from your house? Do you have a website? Do you have friends that sell it? There's a lot of different options that are out there. And you want to first put down all the places that someone can get your product. Your price is very important. Your product can have a specific price, but it can be complicated, as we can get to a little bit later. You can have different kinds of prices in different situations. That leads us to promotions. You want to have different promotions that that you can use in different times, different ways. You want to get pricing off, you want to bundle things together. There's so many different options that you can do. And the main thing is to take your business and try to fill out all these 5 boxes: your products, your pricing, your promotion, your place, and also your people that are involved, the people that are buying your product. That's the most important, and we're going to get to that. Going back one page, the general thing, if you guys are familiar with this, a general analysis is called the SWOT analysis. This is the bread and butter for anyone marketing, And if you guys are running your own business and you don't want to spend money on a marketing company, this is really, really important to know. A SWOT analysis is basically a way of taking the time to analyze any part of your company. And you divide it into 4 parts. You take a part of your company, you can take your own company, for example, and you can divide it into 4 parts. You can ask yourself 4 very key questions. The first one is S, is strength. Okay, what are your strengths? You have a company, especially a company that's launched, or it could even be before you launch the company, it could be your personal strengths. What are your strengths? You may have connections. You may have somebody that's already in the ice cream business in your family, in the food business. You may have somebody that's already in the organization or someone who's already in the CEO's club in Manhattan. You can connect through that. You may have someone, a family that's already graphic designer, or a family member that has a business that needs graphic design. So you may have these strengths, either things that you could do or connections that you have that you're building your business around, and that's good. You also have to be honest and look at your weaknesses. What are the things that you're not good at? Not good at time management, not good at financial management, maybe you have a full-time job, so you have less time available, maybe you just don't have a good sense of graphic design. You have to know what your weaknesses are. And those are internal. So you're looking at yourself. And then you're looking a little bit external, which is the second 2 at the bottom, which is opportunities and threats. Opportunities are things that are out there, which is you have your business and you say, how can I grow my business? What are things that are changing in the industry that are making it easier or harder for me? Especially today with technology. So you have the iPhone, you have apps that are coming out, a lot of people are making apps. Is that an opportunity? Is it something that could really, really do well for your business? Or not. And threats are also important to look at. Also things outside of changing the business. There's technology. There could be rules and regulations that are coming in. If you're in the food industry, you have to know what's allowed and what's not allowed. If you're making food in your house, what you can sell, what you can label it. Action. These are all things that are out of your control, but you have to know what things that could threaten your business. And a very simple threat also is competition, looking at what competition is out there. And seeing how they can impact your business. Who's out there that is doing something very similar and could switch into your business. So these are things you want to look at as well. So this is a general analysis that you want to do on every part of your business. It's a SWOT analysis. So that's the basics on that. But it's important to know that when you're in the discovery phase, which is you're creating a picture of the business and creating the questions, it's important not to make solutions. A lot of people, they have a question and they solve it right away inside their own heads. And very often, they haven't taken the time to do the research, talk to other people and find out it's actually a great answer. And I talk to a lot of people that they're calling me, they already want a website and they already want this and they want this, and they've never taken the time to really think, is that what I need? So it's important to focus on the question. You want to grow your business, you're focused in per nights, you're doing this part-time, whatever your limitations are that you are going into the business, you put those down on the table, and then you say, well, what's my challenge? I'm only able to devote 5 hours a week to my business, and right now it's not making enough. Or I want to double my clients within the hours that I have. So you take your limitations and you focus on the question. That's important. So let's take an example. Going back to an example of, I'm using Sterling Electronics as an example. I spoke to them, and I got a very, very clear picture of the business. I looked at their products, we saw that before. I looked at what kind of products they have. I looked at different clients that they have, who are their customers, when you go through that in a second. And then I did a basic analysis on the company, what their strengths are, and especially on the competition as well. We looked at, there are other stores that are competing with them, and the biggest one is obviously online, Amazon. And you want to look at what are your strengths or weaknesses against Amazon. A lot of people might think, oh, well, retail is dead. Why would you want to open a store? Why would you want to run a store? Everyone's buying on Amazon. But it's not true, because there are many reasons and needs for buying in a local store as well, and we'll get to that. So that step 1 is discovery, having a clear idea of your business, what it is. Second step is the analysis. You go a little bit faster now. Analysis is taking the information and going through it in more detail. So now we're doing more research out there. We're getting more data that's out there. So before, we're looking at the company, the way it's set up internally. Now we're trying to get out market research. You want to find out the competition. What are they pricing their products? What kind of products do they have? Maybe there's some item that they don't have. Maybe there's a niche in the market that they're not covering. Maybe there's something they're selling the same thing, but they're selling it for more. Or maybe they're selling it for less, and then you have to know that. So you're creating a product, you have to know about the pricing, you have to know how it's working in the market. That's the analysis stage. Once you have the analysis, and we go through this as an example, Now you can start to plan. Planning is putting your strengths against your weaknesses, or especially against your competitors' weaknesses. So if you know your product, for example, is a better price, then that's a very simple thing. You know their weakness is price, your strength is price, because you can make it better than them. You already have it in, and that's a strategy that you want to build your business around. You may have a product, you may have a supplier that makes something that's better. Maybe it's not cheaper, but it's a much better product. Maybe if it's an ice cream that lasts double as long as the other competitor. So you can go to a store and you can say, hey, the other ice cream only lasts 2 months in your freezer, but my ice cream will last 6 months in your freezer. So you have to know your product, you have to know what your strengths are, and how you have to see the challenges, and you have to say, how are we going to overcome each challenge in the business. That's where the planning comes in. Once you have a plan, and I'll show you some example later, then we get to the implementation, which is actually making it happen. Okay? So this would be more where you do more market research and you do the focus groups as well to make sure that your implementation is gonna go through and it's going to execute the right way. So let's give an example. Let's say in the first, right at the beginning, we discovered a certain product that's missing in the store. Let's take Sterling Electronics. People like them. Maybe some might feel a little bit out of date. So there's a product that's missing in the store. So that's discovery. We look at the stores that the product is missing. Then we take an analysis and we say, well, which products should we put into the store, and how should we price them, and who's going to buy them? So we want to look at that. And then we come to the planning. Planning is, okay, now we know what products we need. Where are we going to put them in the store? Maybe we're going to build a new shelf. We're going to have a clear plan of where it's going to go, how we're going to promote it, how we're going to let people know about it. And then implementation is actually making it happen, where it might be putting out a brochure, or putting an ad on Facebook, or putting an ad on Google, mailing the whole Crown Heights, sponsoring a Chinese auction. There's so many different ways of getting the word out, but this is all after we know what the product is and where it's going to go. So those are the 4 steps. Going through Sterling Electronics, we can go through these 4 steps, and I'm going to give you more of an example now. So with Sterling Electronics, we took the 4 Ps, and we looked at the different kinds of product categories that we have. So this is obviously a bigger store. You guys may not be ready for this, but even no matter what kind of business you have, you need to be able to break it down. Instead of just looking at, okay, I sell electronics, or I sell this product, or I sell this, you need to be able to break it out and say, okay, I have actually different kinds of products. Especially if you're in the service business, you might be organizing somebody's house, but you can't just sell someone organizing the house. You may have to have packages. You may have a small package and a bigger package, and a 1-hour job, and an introduction, a free introduction, and a 2-day project, and a week project. You have to have different categories, and different categories talk to different clients. So it's important to have, no matter what you're doing, you have a spread, and then you look at the success of your business once it's up and running. Well, what are people buying? I have different flavors of ice cream, or I have different kinds of graphic design projects that I have. Whatever I have, how can I break them up? And then you want to look at, the easiest thing is to look at sales. Look at the last year, how many people bought how many of each product.
This is the discovery.
Yes. So this is the discovery phase for exactly what we did for Sterling Electronics. And just to show you what they came up with, you may walk in the store and say, hey, they're just electronics, but actually they have all these categories, which include general houseware, which is dishes, flatware, pots and pans. And they have Jewish houseware, which is like urns that only Jewish people would buy. That's a whole different category. They have high-end houseware. These are brand name items that people pay a lot more for. Then they have small appliances, like hand blenders. They have music accessories like headphones, speakers, chargers, etc. They have watches and wearables. They have vacuum cleaners, clocks, alarm clocks, gifts, toys, AC and appliances. They actually have more categories, but we didn't put them all in here, so not all of them we're going to be continuing with. They had a photography section. They recently got rid of that. You guys probably know that photography place. So they have photography, and there's a few more. But even in the business, you want to try and break it down as much as possible, because the more you can divide your business into smaller areas, the more you can focus on it and see if it's successful, and figure out a way how to make it more successful. If you're looking at this, you might see, hey, this section is really not doing very well. I need to change it out. Either I need to change it, and I need to figure out why it's not doing well. Is it, let's say, we have toys and they're always out of date, so they're very old, so we need to have newer toys? Or is it just that people are buying toys elsewhere? So you need to be able to ask the questions, but you only have the questions once you have the data. So the first thing is the discovery, seeing what you have in the business, seeing how everything's doing. You want to look at sales. You also want to look at profit. You might have some products, especially if you're selling a product in a retail store, that you might sell a lot more of it, but you're not be making a lot less money. Or it might be a larger product. Let's say they have washing machines which sit in the store. So even though they make a lot of money on it, and it makes a lot of money when you sell them, they actually take up so much space in the store that if they could have a lot more smaller products in the store, making them more money, because you want to look at how much space each thing is taking. So that's retail. It's probably not relevant to a lot of people here, but it's an idea of how you take a business and how you break it down in the first step. Another part of this is very, very important, is breaking down your customers. This is maybe more relevant to a lot of people here. So you have customers, let's go back 1 second. I just want to, before you look at the customers that we broke down, you probably see, as you're in Crown Heights, and you probably see that there's, the easiest way to divide is as men and women in Crown Heights. Okay, you can divide the whole Crown Heights into two, but then how do you divide it further? And it's important to know that each person that's coming to you could be coming for a different reason. And especially if you have different products, people are coming and buying different things. So I would ask you, if you were taking Crown Heights, how would you break it up into segments? Given ages. Okay? Age is a very good thing. You have older people, especially for electronics store, older people are not coming in and buying the latest phone. Younger people are. What else?
Residents versus like students or people here just visiting or whatever.
Visitors, excellent. So visitors come and they buy a lot of different products, 100%. They're coming in, they're looking more for gifts, they're looking more for things to take home for their families, 100%. There's people living here, they're looking more for things that they need. Anything else? Okay, that's right. Single or not single, you definitely find using different products in your house, 100%. So those are good ways to break it down. Let's see some of the things that we came up with. So a lot of the things you guys got, you got tourists. You actually have shluchim and guests, which are different from tourists because they come certain times of the year. So you have shluchim and their guests, they come like Gimel Tammuz and Chafei Shvat and Tishrei, and even those, you can divide them up. People that come Tishrei are not the same people that come Gimel Tammuz, and they need different products. So this may or may not be relevant to your business. You also have non-Jews. A lot of non-Jewish people come in, they're buying different products. You have the older over 40. You also have something interesting that they figured out, is you have the less chassidish and more chassidish. I know it's a bit of a dangerous territory to discuss, but the facts are that I know they're different people and they need different things. They're buying different products. So the end is you're trying to help everybody, and we're not trying to label anybody, but you want to see people coming in, they're looking for certain things, and certain people, if you have certain things, they won't even come to your store, and on both sides. So the more you know your clients, the more you can break them down, the more you're going to be able to service them, and more so. To service them, you can really start to think about them and get into their minds and be able to provide products. One example here, right at the top there, didn't fit in a small slice of the pie there. One of the big ones is engaged couples. I know we spoke about single, not single, but people who get engaged, the big thing in the frum world is that they have a registry and they kind of get everything they need for the kitchen. So this is a very specific niche that they are looking to go for because that's where a lot of people buy for the first time, and they're switching from the single to the married, and that's a target market that they could really build up. So this is just one way of breaking down the categories, and this is a competitive analysis. The third part of this business that I want to show you guys is, without going into too much detail, you also want to look at the competition and who's out there. So for Sterling Electronics, for example, they have 3 major competition. They have the local stores. There's a lot of local stores on Kingston who are competing with them. And I'm not really going to go through too many details, but you can imagine some of the strengths and weaknesses. You can look at pricing we spoke about before. You could also talk about location. You could also talk about hours. Some stores are open later, some stores are open earlier, some stores are more organized. And no one has exactly the same products. There's so many different products that you want to know what is your niche and how are you going to stand out a little bit from the competition. And that's local. Next thing is Borough Park. A lot of people go to Borough Park for their electronics, especially for their houseware. So you want to figure out what the strengths and weaknesses are over there. Borough Park, for example, the Buzz is one of the big competition. They're obviously a much bigger store. They obviously have a lot bigger space and they have more people that really know the products. So that's a competition. On the other hand, not everybody wants to go to Borough Park every day. So you have to know how to maximize that strength and turn it into that weakness and turn it into a strength. And online is one of the big ones. Obviously Amazon, a lot of people are buying things on Amazon. It's a big challenge for them. especially with the younger crowd. The over 40s are not really buying online. How many of your parents or friends over 40 you know perhaps are buying online? Less so. But younger people are more online, but yet there's different ways to get them. There's different products that they can have, and there are strengths and there are some ideas and ways that we can get people in, even though they may be on Amazon. So going through analysis of our example client, these are some of the things that we could do, and obviously you can apply this to your business as well. So we're taking Sterling Electronics, and these are some of the things that we can do. We can research each of those types of customers that we had before in the circle, and this is what we can ask ourselves. Which products do they buy? So you have over 40s, what are they buying? You have engaged couples, what are they buying? You have non-Jews, what are they buying? And then we can say, what are the needs we can fill? Maybe there's products that we don't have that we should have. So what are the products there? And then we can ask, what's the impression that they may have of us? And then why should they come to us? These are questions that you guys want to ask your business as well. You break down who are your customers in as much detail as possible. What are the products that you have? And then you want to really get into the minds of the customer and say, okay, well, what are they buying? What are they missing? What else could we be providing them? Remember, it's not always the same product. You may have a service, but maybe you want to add products. You may be selling an organizational system, but maybe you also want to be able to sell them the boxes that they need. They don't want to go out and then figure out the boxes themselves. Maybe you can come in and say, hey, on my second visit, I can bring you the boxes and I can get them, at 20% cheaper than you might get them anywhere else, and I'll set it all up for you. And it's a side business, and you can make money on that too. So that's part of developing and really getting into your customers' minds and understanding how you can develop your business. Any question?
As a growing business or that doesn't have a lot of income, all this takes a lot of money to figure out how would you know impression of us, and how would you know all this without
It's a good question. I don't want to get into it too much, but in essence I'm showing you what we do for bigger businesses, and then your options are, a lot of this you can do yourself. You talk to your customers, and I'll get to that. Or you can hire somebody. When you get a little bigger, you hire a company to do this. But at this point, you can talk to your customers and you can ask them these questions. You can ask them, what's your impression of me? In fact, one of the best things I do for a client, and I would recommend this to anybody coming out, if you even walk out of here with this one piece of advice, definitely worth your money, is when you walk out of the door tomorrow, before the end of the day, call 3 of your clients, and you can ask them 2 questions. You can ask them, why do you come to me? And what else could I be providing to you? 2 questions. Basically, what do you like? And you can also ask what you don't like if you're really brave. So you can actually ask 3 questions. You can say, what do you like about me? Why do you come? What do you dislike? And you can ask them to be honest. You need a good customer who's really going to tell you. And then you can say, what else am I missing? And most of your clients have the answer. They may even have told you, but you never really thought about it. But if you're calling them up and asking them these questions, you should be able to get some really good insights. And obviously, once you're in the conversation, try to get as much information as you can.
Do you think sending out a survey you get the same response, or is
No.
it always better to call?
Calling and your friends, they'll tell you. You just can send out a survey, it's a lot harder. For a big
For a
business,
service, it's very different though. You can't call your friends for service.
true. We can talk about it later.
Products is very different than service.
Products is easier. Services, you know what? People are still coming to you and they're buying your service. So I'm saying the same. People are giving you money. You have a right to call them up and ask them why they're giving you money. There's nothing wrong. And they could go other places. You're not the only person doing it. So there's a reason why they're coming to you, and you need to know that reason. And if you need to preface it, you can tell them, I'm looking to build my business. I want to improve it. So everybody wants to help somebody improve their business. Even if they had a bad experience, someone's happy to help you improve your business. So don't be scared to call your customers and ask them tough questions, because they know, sometimes they know more about your business than you do. So don't be scared. So that is an example of how we analyze them. Now going back to our sample company, this is already the next step of being able to take the analysis and we're basically taking the information that we gathered, and now we're saying, okay, how do we analyze it? How do we interpret it and take something out of it? So we spoke before, for example, Shluchim and guests that might come to a place like Sterling Electronics. What do they need? What's the information that we get from them? So we see the top items might be, by the way, all this information is exactly correct. It's just to give you an example. We might see the top item, the top category that they buy is the gifts for their home, for homes that they stay in. And the strength is last minute. Well, Shluchim, they can't go on Amazon, not going to go on Amazon. Weakness, maybe the weight and size. If people are taking them overseas, you can't have big products, doesn't matter how good it is, how good the price is, it needs to be something small they can take with them. And an opportunity might be always having the latest gadgets that you can get in the US, even if you guys have the stuff and it's very, very exciting. For someone that's coming from overseas, if you have some idea of what things have gone overseas and what things are really very exciting for someone that's never been to the US before, and you have those products, that's a really, really good opportunity. Of course, it's hard to know what the market is in every country, but it's something to know. You have people coming from Israel, and you have a product that is not yet big in Israel, well, people will find that this is a great place to come and get that product, and that's an opportunity. And one threat that came up in discussion with airlines, they're cutting back on overweight, and they're giving people a lot of issues with luggage. So, children coming and buying stuff, their take home is being threatened by the fact that airlines are making it harder for people to take stuff. This is something that we came up with over there. Another idea is just looking at, as we said before, about Crown Heights, that there's more Chassidish, less Chassidish, and how would that apply to a business? Well, very practically, someone less Chassidish is going to be more likely buying music accessories and more likely to buy on Amazon. More Chassidish people, they're looking for different products. But these are some of the examples that are out there. And now I want to talk about the next step, which is the planning, which basically takes the strengths that we have in the business, what you guys have in your business, what are your strengths, and how you put it against the weakness that's in the business or that's out there in the world, or against our competition. How do we make sure that we put our strengths against the weaknesses? And sometimes you may not be able to win everything. You may have a company out there that has the same product or one of your products, and they're doing it better, and they're doing it cheaper, and they're doing it faster, and then you've got to take a step back and say, well, hey, maybe I have to have a different product, or I have to find a different way to win. But just to sell the same product in a small market, unless it's a big enough market, may not be the right way. But assuming you can figure out an angle for each of the plans, here's for some examples of what could be done. So, for example, Amazon, we said before, would be a challenge. So how would we go against a challenge like this? How would we solve a challenge like that? So a very simple thing, which a lot of stores in Crown Heights do already, is having free delivery. That's actually something that they do already. Also discussing the warranty. If you have a good warranty policy, then people are more likely to come back to you, because people buy on Amazon because they know they can rely on it, where it's somebody local, where you don't know if you guys can be there tomorrow. Here, it's a store that's been around for a while, people know the store, they trust it, and if they have free delivery, I can actually get it faster than Amazon, because Amazon I don't have to wait till tomorrow. I can get free delivery, I can have it in a couple of hours. So that's one strength. Another strength the company has is having products, knowledge of Jewish products. Lots of products, great examples of Earn, and I use myself as an example. I don't live in Crown Heights, but I wanted to buy a new Shabbos Earn. The Earn died. Now I can get them on Amazon. There's loads of different Earns on Amazon, but I know that to get one that has the Shabbos mode, and to get one that's the right size for my kitchen, and to know that it's going to last, and then to know that somebody that understands what a Shabbos mode is, I need to talk to somebody in the business. So I came to Crown Heights, well, wait, the next time I came to Crown Heights, and bought the Earn from Crown Heights, from Sterling Electronics, because I needed to have somebody that has that information on the product. And Amazon, doesn't matter how many products they have, they're never going to give the time and attention to anybody buying a product. So this is one way that Sterling Electronics can still get customers, even if they have an Amazon Prime account and they're spending hundreds of dollars a month on Amazon, they're still going to come in to Sterling Electronics with certain products that they need more information, they need a helping hand, they need to be able to ask questions to, and they don't want to have to order 10 things from Amazon and send them back. You want to come in, you need knowledge, you're going to come in. So this is a way that Sterling Electronics can capitalize by letting people know about the knowledge that they have, that don't just go on Amazon and buy something. Yeah, certain things you're going to buy on Amazon because it's easier. Something that's a little bit complicated, or you need to have more information, you need that knowledge, well, you're going to come into Sterling Electronics for that. We spoke about airline weight issues, so if the airlines, if you have a problem with weight, well, you can have smaller gadgets that they don't have to be big and heavy. You can focus on getting smaller products, and you can still keep that line. And also toys are something that are good, because they're usually smaller as well for kids. Something that came up, another strategy that came up, for example, is an impression. Let's say you have an impression in the store. I think somebody mentioned before that it's a little bit older and out of date, some of the products there, and that's the way it's been seen for a while. So one of the ideas are that Sterling Electronics are looking to redo their store and make it fun and exciting. And they're redoing the store not just because they want a nicer store. It also tells people, like, hey, we're looking to get the latest products. We're looking to be cutting edge. We're looking to always be thinking about what you need. So we're looking to have advantages over Amazon. We're looking to give the products that you need that you can take home if you're out. And we're looking to really have the knowledge that you need to be able to service you guys in the best way possible. And then a new store is just a way of showing everybody like, wow, we're really committed to it and we're going to be making those changes going forward. So that's just some examples of how you do the research, you find the challenges, let's say Amazon's a challenge, and you figure out how to get around it. So let's say we have the Jewish knowledge and how you put it all together. And now you have implementation. So implementation is generally the hardest part because you know what you want to do, you know you need a website, you know whatever it is that you need. Here's the part where you actually get it done. So we decided, for example, we're going to go with free delivery, which is something we do already. And if you guys have a company and you want to add free delivery, it's not so simple. You need to figure out the logistics, you need to figure out how much it costs, you need to hire and train a delivery guy, and then you want to advertise. You want to make sure people know about the free delivery service. And how do you advertise it? Well, you have a lot of channels. You can do it on your website, you can do it in the mail, COL, Facebook, you can put signage, you can put something in the vehicle, you can put brochures. There's so many ways you could do that. That's the implementation stage, and you need a plan for that too. So once you know, hey, we're going to do free delivery, we're going to let everybody know about free delivery because that's going to bring us more business, then you want to go through these steps and figure out exactly how to share that information with the clients or potential clients. And Jewish products, the same idea. If we're going to focus on selling Jewish products in the store, well, you want to gather and purchase a list of Jewish products. What are those products that people are going to come for that knowledge, especially Jewish knowledge? You want to learn them really, really well and train your staff, and then you want to advertise that information and let people know about that. With each of these steps, you want to make sure that you're clear. As you can see, we're clear on what the things are we need to do for this company. We need to add free delivery, because otherwise we can't compete with Amazon. We need to get more Jewish products into the store. But just once we know we're clear, now we can get to the implementation of actually letting people know about this. And it's important because a lot of people will just jump on doing something with the website or jump on different ideas, and maybe you guys put some ideas down at the beginning, but it's unlikely you would come up with these ideas because you didn't look at the problems, you didn't do the research. But now that we've gone through these steps, we not just that we have great ideas, but we're very, very confident they're going to succeed. In fact, with a company that has a sales history, we can actually probably project how much increase in sales we could expect by doing each of these, because we can see how much business they lost, how much business they could get. We can have some idea that maybe to implement free delivery might cost, you have to hire a person, might cost X amount per year, but the increase in business could be a lot more based on those numbers. So now you have an idea of an existing customer, and we went through the steps. It is a little bit technical, I'll give you that, and there's a lot of steps involved. But if we simplify those 4 steps we talked about at the beginning, that you have the discovery, you gather the information, analysis, you try to expand the information a little bit, and you plan about how the strengths and the weaknesses go together, and the last part is actually implementing it. You can actually see an easy way to be successful even in your business. So on page 4, I actually have a short questionnaire for you guys. It's 2 pages, but doing this will give you a really, really good feel for how you can take your business to the next level in a very, very practical way. So the first part is a business plan, and if you guys have done this already in previous workshops or done something like this in another place, feel free to go ahead to the next step. But it's important because you can't do a marketing plan unless you have a business plan. You have to know where you want to go, and marketing will help you get there. If you don't know where you're going, you can't get it. So the first part is a business plan. And you guys can feel free to do this, you can take it home, or you can do it here, and if you've done it here and you have some questions, you have that opportunity. But I'll just run through what's involved. Business plan, the first thing is your vision and your mission. You want to be very, very clear what your business, what it does, and why you're doing this business. You also want to understand the USP, why are you standing out, how do you stand out from the competition. It's very nice if you have a passion for it, you're excited about it, but you have to take a minute to think. If you're doing the same thing that someone else is doing, why is someone going to come to you? Okay. Goals are very, very important. If you really want to grow a business and really, really be successful, you need to have a good goal of where you're going to grow the business, how much money you want it to make, how many clients you want it to make. You have to take a realistic goal and set it and work on it. Otherwise, people can have great ideas. They have a part-time job, or they have a part-time business, and it could be years later and nothing really happens with it. You could do this. The next part is this strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats in your own business, and that we already covered. And then once you have a kind of business plan, you go through the marketing plan, which is some idea of how you guys can do the examples that we showed here in the presentation. Number one is looking at your products and services categories. So you can take what are all the products that you have, what are all the services you provide, and then by each one you want to put your strengths and your weaknesses by each of those products. On the second page, you talk about your competition. And remember, competition isn't always directly competition. If you're making ice cream, it doesn't mean someone else making ice cream. It could be someone else making desserts. Think about who's going to buy it, when are they going to buy it. Do they buy it because they want dessert right now? Like if someone's going out with a friend and they want dessert right now, or are they buying it to keep it at home, or are they buying it for Shabbos? And once you understand your product, you know who you're competing with. So if you're organizing somebody's house, maybe someone will spend more money on a cleaner, and then maybe that's your competition. It may not be someone doing exactly what you're focusing on. So you want to think about what your competition is, and again, put strengths and weaknesses for each one, and you have a lot better idea of what you should be focusing on. This is really important, your target market, which is difficult to do, but really, really key in growing your business, is to know who's buying your product and how they can get more of what they want. Why are they coming to you? How you can give them more of what they really, really need. And there's a way to segment them through income, through age gaps, male and female, through their lives and other details. How they run their lives. Try to break it down even in your own head. It doesn't have to be logical. It could be people living in apartment buildings versus people that have houses. You know, maybe completely different kinds of services. Organization business is a good one for that. A house may be a whole different kind of project than someone living in an apartment building. And if you can think in that way, you can have a more custom product that people are going to buy. If you just have one product for everybody, then the person living in the house might think, okay, it doesn't really fit for me, and the person in the apartment building may think it doesn't fit for me. But if you can really think about who you're servicing and you can really talk to them, you'll be a lot more successful, because people feel when you really understand somebody, people feel you understand them and you want to buy your product. It's really about you communicating with them and really understanding them. And it starts out by being able to segment your customers very, very well. So if you're focusing on a magazine or an organization, a community, how do you break down your customers? Each one really needs a different message to be able to attract them. And the more you know about that, the more you can focus different messages. The more you break it down, the more customized the message, and then the more different products you can have for each of those customers, and the more successful your business is going to be. And then once you've got all those things down, you should be able to develop a little bit of a strategy, and that's the last 2 points over here, which is what are the top 3 things that are going to get you there. So now you have an idea of who your customers are, what your products are, and you have some idea of how to put those 2 things together to see some success. You can now have some idea of say, okay, what are the top 3 things? Yes, you might have 10 or 20 good ideas, but to make it happen, just take 3 things that seem easy and something you can accomplish within, let's say, 3 months or a certain amount of time. Put those down and commit to making them happen. And the last step is what's involved in getting it to happen. So you need a website. Okay, how do I make that happen? Am I going to do an event with a friend of mine that's in the same business or in a similar business? Okay, what do I need to get it to happen? And with this, you should come up with some really, really good ideas of how to really take your business to the next level. Why don't we just take a minute and then we'll take questions.
So, Aaron, though, are you going to address?
Sorry?
Aren't we also going to just address, like, are you going to look at overview of the basic channels for marketing? Like, what's that?
We could discuss the basic channels for marketing if you want. It's not necessarily something that's key over here. Here's really planning strategies for the business. Once you have it, I wrote that, we had that before. The strategy, the ways to get the message out is the next part. So you've got your, sure wants to take to the next step.
It takes 5 minutes. I thought that we would include that for the shlemus of the class. Just 5 minutes, do a quick.
Okay, so I'll add 2 more points here, as per Rabbi Woody's request, and then I'll take any questions. Please keep them in mind. I'll take your questions afterwards. So once you have your key and you know what strategies are for your business, the next part is really implementing them, and there's 2 parts to the implementation. The first part is a message. So whatever you're going to do, you have a company itself has a message, and then you have your campaign, which is, let's say we decide to focus on people that are buying on Amazon and we want them to come to our business instead. So you have to have a message. The message would say very clearly why people should come to you. We want to make it very clear. So one example would be get your product today. Why buy on Amazon when you can get your product in 2 hours delivered to your door? So this makes people think, like, yes, I know I can get it on Amazon. I know I can get it at this place. I know Amazon's easy. I can just click the button, but hey, I can get it in 2 hours. And it may not work the first time you see that message, but if you see it again and again and again and again,
Order online.
okay, good question. So good idea, but ordering online, then you say, well, why should I go to you, why should I go to Amazon? It's really the same thing, right?
They're getting it in 2 hours.
Okay, you're saying instead of having to go to the store, pull it in, okay. So that might be even better. You can call somebody up and you can get it in 2 hours, you don't have to go to the store, then even better. Then it's like, then you have the pluses of Amazon, you don't have to leave your house, and you get the pluses of Sterling Electronics, so you get it right to your door. Okay, so they have a website. I know they're redoing the website as well, that's obviously part of the whole project. And I'm sure the website is up there. The question is something I have to look into. Do they have a guarantee on everything on the website that comes in 2 hours? Probably something they should look into. But it's a very, very good point. So once you have a message, which might be, yes, buy on our website or come into our store and you get it in 2 hours, you'll get that product in 2 hours, you have a message. Then your question is, as Yeshua mentioned about channels. The channels is how do we get the message out to our customers? Now every customer may have a different kind of message. For example, you're over 40s, probably not on Facebook. Your more serious people are also not on Facebook. So everybody has their way of getting the message across. We know the message. The message is, yes, we deliver in 2 hours. But how are we going to get it to them? And the easiest way is you just write a list of all possible channels and you say, okay, we're focusing on, let's say Amazon, we go back to the customers and we say it's really the younger crowd, so we do want to be on Facebook. We don't want to do a mailing around Crown Heights to tell them about don't go on Amazon because that's really going to hit more the older people. The older people are the ones that like to read all their mail. And if we wanted to focus the target on the older people, okay, that would be good for mailing. But if you want to tell people, hey guys, don't go on Amazon, come to Sterling Electronics, you probably want to be on Facebook, Crown Heights Craigslist, you want to do an ad on COL, you want to be more online, which this is where your crowd is. The crowd is on Amazon and you're going to attract them back to you. So just to be clear, you want to have your message. Once you have the strategy, you want to have a message, which is what you're saying. You want to be able to sum it up, all your research and all your planning and all your investing in your business to be able to deliver in 2 hours. You sum that up in one single, very powerful message. And then you want to get it out there. You look at all your channels, Facebook, online, brochures. You could have brochures in your product. You can mailing. You could do emails. You could do weekly emails. You could have, there's so many ways to connect to people. You have someone's birthday, that you can connect to them. For example, I mean, just something maybe more relevant to you guys. You have a small business. Not everybody wants to buy your product and use it right away. A very easy thing to do is to have gift cards or gift your services. Someone can buy it for a friend of theirs. A lot of people will say, hey, that's a great service. I would love it. I don't need it. Let me buy it for a friend or a sibling or a family. So it's very likely you could set up a package that says, hey, buy this for your friend. And right now it's 30% off. And if you buy it right now, you can also have 1 free hour of something. You could have an extra something in graphic design that they could give you. You buy it for your friend and give it to them. It's a whole nother channel of, a whole nother way of letting people buy your services. They don't actually have to use them. They can give it to somebody else. And once you have that, so you decide, okay, I'm going to give away my products as a gift. You can design a nice gift card, an envelope, a postcard, whatever it takes to put it. You make something nice so they feel they're getting something. It's not just someone rolling out an email that says, yeah, hey, you have a free something, an hour of my time, but actually a nice product that people can actually own and give to their friend as a gift. And then you want to figure out how you let people know about it. So now you have this gift, you have this postcard or brochure or whatever you have that says that you get a free hour or a free pint of ice cream or whatever, something free that you're going to give out or something that you can give to your friend as a gift. And now you say, okay, how do I let people know that they can buy these gifts? And how do I let them know? So one idea, as I mentioned, was a birthday. Someone's birthday's coming up. You can let them know, hey, it's your birthday. Here's something for you. Or here's, by the way, we have gift cards. Or you can, there's many ways that you can get it out there. And again, you can use Facebook. You can do mailing. There are so many different channels that are out there. But the main thing is having a strategy, creating a message, and then figuring out how you let people know about that message. I think that's what Yeshua wanted me to mention. I have one last point, just to throw something out there about marketing strategies. There are so many different strategies, which is really what the focus of today was, which is really coming up with some new message and a new way of getting your product or idea out there. And I'm going to run through a few, but there are so many. Brochure or newsletter, whatever product, whatever line you're in, there's always brochures, and always you should have something, brochure, which is on your company, what you do, what different services you have. You have different flavors of ice cream, you have different services for organizing your house. You want to have a brochure that's very clear what your offering is. Newsletters are things that should go out, either print or email. It should go out at least once or twice a year, if not every month. Keeping connected with your clients, letting them know what's going on. And again, it doesn't have to be a newsletter you write. You can just say, hey, if you find something that's interesting in your industry, you just send it out to people. It's not so much what's written there, it's being connected. Videos are really, really good. You're looking to build a business. You have behind the scenes or how to something again that's related to the business. And again, if you're just starting up, you don't have to do your own video. Just find something that's out there, share it. Competitions are good, especially if it's shared on social media. You can do relationship building, as I mentioned before.
What
You
is
have
a
some
competition?
birthday, sorry?
Say that one before.
Competitions are very simple. You probably see them on Facebook the whole time. Anybody that has a product and they tell someone, take a picture of you using the product or on vacation or jumping out of a plane or doing something like this or walking to Kingston Avenue and post it with this hashtag and you can win a prize. But it's a way of letting them know about your service. If you're selling ice cream, you can tell them to have a picture, what's the craziest picture you have of ice cream or whatever the thing is, or choose the next flavor or choose the next color. There's so many things you could do. Come up with a fun competition you like, and if you're excited about it, get something that your friends have to share. And as long as they're sharing it, it has your hashtag in there, and they can win something. People will do it just to win something. And meanwhile, your product is already out there. Okay, relationship building is key dates. So you have someone's birthday. If you know someone's engagement, if you know any other key dates, and someone has kids, and you're running a business that's related to kids, so keep those birthdays in a system, and that way when it comes up, or a month before, or a week before, or on the day, you can send them congratulations, and you can, at the bottom, even if you don't sell your product, it's just the fact that you're connected with them and you're reminding them about these key dates. People, I mean, you guys probably get this from many companies all the time. On your birthday, you get an email. Does the company know or care about your birthday? No. But it feels good. Someone remembered your English birthday even if you don't celebrate it. So it's just that little connection. It's very, very easy to do. There's a lot of programs out there that will do it completely for free. You got to get that data and put it in and use it. Some other very simple ideas that are out there, which should apply to almost any business, is scarcity. So you can make a product that's, or do have something, or have a service that just you only have a few of. There's only 3 of these. I'm giving away a specific time slot or specific flavor, and I'm just making it for 1 month. I'm just making 100 batches, and people get very excited because they feel they can't get it again. So that's a good way to promote a business of making something scarce. Even though you could make a lot more, you don't want to. You make it limited, and it gets people excited, and then you do something else. Seasonal is also important. You know, you think of a business and you're looking at a whole year, but some businesses can be a lot more successful certain times of year. It's colder, you can use that to your advantage. It's Hanukkah, it's Purim. If you think about each time of year, you might find different areas that you can use your product for, or you can develop something new that's only good for that season. But again, even though it takes a lot of effort and it's only valid for a couple of months, like the season comes around every year and you can have that a few different times. Events is a very, very good one. You have a product or service, how do you let people know about it? It's an event like this, people speaking, or you can make an event, get some friends together and rent a room, and a lot of these pop-up sales, pop-up events, or join in, or the auctions, Chinese auctions, are also relatively simple ways of getting your name out. You just have to give away 1 or 2 free products or some package that makes sense, but it's a way, they are mailing for you all around Crown Heights. If you want to do a mailing around Crown Heights, it'll cost you thousands of dollars. You have to design it, you have to put it together, send it out. Here, they're already doing it for you. It's just a nice, easy way of getting your product out there, and you'll be surprised about how many people will see it. And the last one, freebies, are always very, very good. Even if you have a product and you have to charge for it, you don't want to give away your product, but sometimes people have to try it, especially if it's something new or very, very different. So figure out a way how you can make something really, really small, so people can really see what you can do and see the value. I mean, you know you have a good product. You know that if someone just tried it, they would really like it. So ice cream is really easy. You can just give little tasters in the street, in the store. So try to think about in your business, how can you make something like the ice cream, something really small, that someone could not spend too much money or too much time, but come out with something really, really good. So those are some of the basic strategies. There are a lot more strategies out there. In fact, I have a list somewhere that I put together like 50 different strategies. If any of you guys want, have my email address, you can contact me. I'm happy to send you the whole list so you can take your business and you could try to develop all those marketing strategies to try to apply to your business. Before you guys go, there's one last thing. is I actually have the owners of Sony Electronics that are here in the back. They came in a few minutes ago, and they asked, "Should you print those?"
They just printed.
Just print it out. So I have a small survey that we'd like to ask you guys if you have 2 or 3 minutes to do. I think, did you bring something, Christian? You have it. So we have a gift card